Namaste and hello. I want you to stop for a moment and think of what you were doing before you watched this message. And also think about what you'll be doing after you watch this message. What is the point of what you did? What is the point of what you're going to do? How do you feel when you're doing? If we're honest with ourselves, we will understand and appreciate that the point of all we do is to invoke peace. We want to feel peace. Yet, this is evading us. We're pursuing peace, but where is the peace? My name is Acharya Vivek. I am a guide with Chinmaya Mission. I'm a worker for Chinmaya Mission. And I'm going to share some thoughts with you on Chinmaya Mission and peace. The word Chinmaya is a beautiful Sanskrit word. Maya means pervaded by. Maya means filled with. And Chit, which becomes Chin, means knowledge. To be filled with knowledge. And not an ordinary knowledge. This is a sacred knowledge about who we are and what our responsibilities are. If you think of this from a corporate level, it's like knowing one's job title and job description. Chinmaya is to be filled with this extraordinary knowledge. And mission is to share this. Share this life-saving and life-making knowledge with anyone who is sincere about peace. Not just men, not just people of Indian origin, not just those who know how to perform rituals. This knowledge is for anyone who is sincere, which makes this universally approachable. And this sincerity is natural. This cannot be forced. Chinmaya Mission was founded by Swami Chinmayananda. He was born into a prosperous home, into an educated family. And like all of us, he knew that there was more to life than meets the eye. We all know that. But what's distinct about Swami Chinmayananda is that he had the courage to explore that question, to follow that feeling. And by doing so, he learned about the insights of peace. And that peace is his nature, is our nature. And he trained himself to experience his nature. And he did all of this by being under the masters Swami Shivananda and Swami Tapovanam. An authoritative and authentic Guru Shishya Parampara. A tradition of those who know, teaching those who want to know in a pure way. When Swamiji learned and trained, then he began sharing these same insights, this same training with anyone who was sincere. This began in 1951. And this was so overwhelmingly received that this needed to be organized. And so in 1953, the organization Chinmaya Mission came to be. And I'll remind you that mission is the sharing part. Chinmaya is to be filled with this extraordinary knowledge. It's not about a particular human or a particular teacher. In fact, right from the start of Swamiji's teaching, Swamiji's sharing, Swamiji's organizing, he had shared that he is the indicator, he is not the indicated. And even now, that is clear, Swamiji wanted us to believe in ourselves, to have faith in ourselves, to trust ourselves, to be independent. Jokingly, he would share, I'm not a mule guru. I'm not going to carry you or anyone. You have to lift yourself by yourself. The world rejoiced at this message that our nature is peace. And people wholeheartedly learned and they wholeheartedly trained themselves to experience the same. And since 1953, Chinmay Mission has been ever growing with a multifarious direction of projects. And just to share a few, it could be the weekly self-development classes for kids, for youth, for adults. The thousands of philosophy publications in the form of books, in the form of DVDs, in the form of songs. The rural development projects, where different places all over the world are taken up, and there the people who need help are given help in the form of empowerment, in the form of agricultural support, and on and on and on. Right now, the presence of Chinmay Mission is around the world, in countless cities. There's countless centers. Coming back to what the vision is of the Guru Shishya Parampara, of Swami Chinmayananda, of Chinmay Mission. Another word or interpretation of Chit or Chin is awareness. Through this movement, we are being encouraged to be more aware. Because the more aware we are, the more we know ourselves, what we're supposed to do, the more aware we are, the less mistakes we make. And this awareness is not just about remembering people's names and how to drive to a place without a map. It's about our inner and outer environment. We are all experiencing change. The multiverse, society, our bodies. And wherever there's change, there is challenges. And when we know the purpose of challenges, then we treat that as training. And when we don't know the purpose of challenges, then we treat that as a problem. Training, problem. When I'm aware of the purpose, then I can adapt, and that becomes training. But if I'm not aware, then I can't adapt, it remains a problem. And if we pause again and think, we are busier than ever. What we are doing, what we're going to do. It's almost like we have no time to think. We're always just dealing with problems. Problems at work, problems at school, problems at home, problems. We're all moving without reaching anywhere. This movement encourages us to engage in research. This extraordinary knowledge of who we are, what our responsibilities are. This research is not external, it's internal. It's not inquiry, it's inquiry. It's changing us from being extroverts who are dependent on pleasures and possessions and positions to being introverts who are independent because there's peace. Only when there's research can we be led to development. Whether that's a country or a corporation, this is true, and certainly for our own personalities. Then there are no problems, there is only training. And we engage in the same workplaces, the same schooling, the same homes, but we do so cheerfully. We do so in a balanced way. With this dynamic vision, though all is changing, we remain grounded. We remain centered. The proverb, "There is nothing to fear but fear itself," is such a profound proverb because the insight there is fear is not context-based, fear is content-based. So when we think of the imbalance in our lives, it's not because of work and school and our homes, it is because of the environment within, our thoughts or our lack of thoughts. This movement is encouraging us to better our personalities. And when we better our personalities, when we become more balanced, when we become more peaceful, then the same happens to our families. When our families become more balanced and peaceful, the same happens to our communities. When our communities become more balanced and peaceful, the same happens to our society. This is one of the greatest services, that is to refine ourselves, to take care of ourselves. When I was in university, one day one of our professors had asked a large class, "What is the greatest resource that a nation has?" And many people shared technology. Many people shared natural resources. And what our professor said was people. What good is technology or resources without people? And having been part of Chinmay Mission for some time, as a guide, as a worker, I realized that my professor is wrong. The greatest resource that a nation has is happy people.